Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Natoya Perkins. Thanks again for watching. And if you are joining for the first time, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share it from now for your friends to continue watching with us. All right, so today we will be talking about experienced teachers migrating to work abroad. Today with us we have my brother, Cleveland Perkins. Welcome, Cleveland.
Thank you for having me. I do appreciate taking the time and you inviting me to be on your Real Talk show. I'm excited about it. Yes, I've been looking forward to this. Thank you.
I'm excited too. So let's move right into it. So tell us about your experience as a teacher in Jamaica.
Well, I graduated from Micro Teachers College in 1992 and I was one of the youngest teacher at the Queen's High School. And I remembered my first month in this school where the bursar could not believe that I was 19-year-old teaching, So he was quite, so he had to do some background check. Is this man really real, I started college when I was 16, actually, because I left high school straight into Teachers College. So because I knew exactly what I wanted, before I left high school. I mean, teaching was just taking over my whole system. When I passed like a primary school and I see like kids running around, I said, one day I must get into one of these schools. And that's how I have felt ever since. And so I lived my dream, and teaching for me in Jamaica was something where you don't have to earn the respect. The fact that you're a teacher in Jamaica, it means once you step in the classroom, the students gave you the respect. At least I'm talking about then. When I don't know about now. Some of the things I hear happening, I don't know.
So what you mentioned that you knew exactly what you wanted to do. I remember as a child, you usually in the community used to gather all the kids around in the summer and have summer class, but you were
14 years old, yes.
Right, so 14 years old.
But I believe that exposure and parents have a lot to encourage a certain direction for their kids, because when I was maybe in primary school, I felt that need and that call to wanting to be a teacher because I admire my principals. I remember one of my kindergarten principal, teacher James, and she was a very strict woman, and I'm sure all my sisters and brothers under her, and so having seen those admirable qualities in those head teachers and principals, it really ignite that feeling of wanting to be like them, And so in the community, I just started to gather up those kids during summer because they were just wasting time, just playing around and so on. And I said, why not just bring them together, help them to pass their common entrance, which was a public exam at the time for primary school children, bring them together and try to help them to do well in the exam. And what I found, I just was trying to help, with 2-3 kids, but only to find that parents were coming back to me to say that since I had them, the kids are making such great progress in school. And that's how I know I had a gifting, just by the parents coming back to me and sharing with me kids who were so much of a low ability, they started to make significant progress.
Tell us, after when you get into Queen's Eyes, what was the experience like? Classroom?
Yes, and that was a marvelous. I spent 10 years of teaching there before I migrated to England. I did enjoy it, because that was my love. And one of the things is to see how kids are progressing and the fact that you're able to teach. Once you step in the classroom, kids were eager. And I believe maybe one of the factors that made them so eager is the fact that they had to pay for their exams and so on. That's what, parents, and then the culture of the parents in Jamaica was that they you must make it, because
Right.
education is what will enable you to do well in society and as an adult. And so the kids were motivated. So I enjoyed that. The kids were learning. I see the progress. You know, I was one of the dean of discipline at the school as well, and so on. And so was well loved by the students and by the teachers as well. So I enjoyed my experience there.
So if you said the way you sound right now, just looking at your face, you look so enthused, like you just remember all those wonderful times. Dean of discipline, which means person respected you. No, what prompted you to pick yourself up and, you know, travel to a new country, culture, everything different?
Well, one of the things is that I just had a love for travel and wanting to be exposed. That's one thing. It was just to get the exposure as a young man. And so I had the exposure coming to my family in England. The fact was that we didn't have much in terms of, you know, the economics, in terms of financial, you know, strength. And every now and then a friend will say, let's go to Cayman Islands and so on, and I go and visit. So that need for travel was there as well. I said, wow, this would be a lovely place to be. And then I would be able to help my parents, help my sisters to make progress and so on. So that was one of my thoughts of wanting to come here. Then out of the blue, I had applied to the UK to come and teach. But after 1 year, not a word from them. And then suddenly out of the blue, they called me for an interview and I passed it and was ready, and they recruited me to England.
Wow. This is wonderful information. I would like you to continue to listen and hear Mr. Perkins talking about his experience in England. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back again. You're watching Real Talk with Natoya. We are here with Cleveland Perkins, my brother, sharing his experience of migrating to England. So Cleveland, you now head off to England because you got you passed your interview and now you're off to England. What year did you go? Tell us some more, give you your experience about that.
Well, it was an exciting time. Just getting married in 1999, just getting the news that I'm coming to England. So it was an exciting year, you know, number of years between 99 and 2002. So having come to England now, I said my first year was traumatic. Sorry to say, but that was the situation. So, I mean, and this was the first year, note me, and that is why you have to be quick at learning. Otherwise, you won't make it. You have to learn quite quickly. So in my first year, it was a bit traumatic for me because coming here from, as I said earlier, that the culture in the school system at the time in Jamaica was that the kids were disciplined. You walk in the classroom, they would listen to you. You're able to teach. You enjoy teaching because you see the kids making progress and they are doing well and they're doing their homework and they're interested in learning. When you come here, you find kids under the desk and the whole class is in chaos. You know, I can remember one of the time, one of the kids who had autism took the rubbish bin, you know, and turned it over in the classroom, and the whole place was in mess. And not just the physical mess, but the classroom was in chaos. Kids were under the desk, kids on top of the desk. I just could not teach. I love teaching, but I just could not get it across.
What age group was this though?
This was years from 11 to 16-year-olds. And it was really, sometimes I left the day's activity. At the end of the day, I was just in tears because I would have gone to school from say 8 o'clock and don't even get 1 minute to open my mouth and say, this is trigonometry and this is a topic, because there's just chaos. All I'm saying is be quiet, stop what you're doing. That's all I'm saying for the entire day. For 7 days, 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. That's what I would, and that was just, heart-rending.
Oh
When
my.
I was so nervous sometimes when I hear, for example, you have lunchtime and I'm in my room eating my lunch, and then suddenly the bell rings for the kids to come back. And when I hear the feet coming down the corridor, I'm telling you, it's like my heart was
Oh
under my
God.
feet. And
Oh.
I take my lunch and throw it in the cupboard because it
Mr.
was such
Perkins,
a traumatic
don't kill
time.
us
That
again.
first year.
So, Mr. Perkins, you're saying that the classroom management, you spend more time doing classroom management than actual teaching trigonometry. This is what most teachers have been through, or maybe all teachers who are traveling from like a Caribbean country, especially like Jamaica, to England or to America. These are some of the things that you will be going through. Mr. Perkins, I want you to now tell us now, how did you come out of that? What was the solution? What did you gain from it, and how did you make progress?
Right. So that was my first year, having to do that. And one of the things you had to battle with as well is the idea of the racism, because for some of the white kids, they were racist against you. So they don't think that they should be respecting you because you are, as far as they are concerned, you're less than them, and you're from Africa and you should be in the jungle and all of that. Sometimes you get even that comment that, go back to your country, go back to Africa, that sort of comment. And so that's why as a Caribbean person coming in and as a Black person coming in, you have to work doubly hard to earn their respect.
Right.
And so now, having been there and learned that, one of the things that I found I had to do moving out of that school was that I realized that I was telling them, oh, I'm from Jamaica. I thought that would be a good thing and let the kids know. But once they know that, they start going around the corridor and say, respect, boy, respect, and all of those things. So the level of disrespect start coming there. They watch Cool Running, and so they curse words from Cool Running. As a pastor, I can't call some of those words, but the BC and the RC, white kids would be saying those things to you, and in disrespect. And also, I have learned from that experience as well that even though some of them may be racist, some of them may be prejudiced against you, or sometimes they are just outrightly disrespectful, what I find is that you need to have a relationship with them. Once you have the relationship with them, it's easier for you to, they will lift up the mountains for you once you have that relationship. So irrespective of who you are, once you build that relationship, you try not to embarrass them in the classroom. You take them outside and talk to them and just bargain with them or negotiate a behavior system with them in the classroom, and reward them and compliment them and so on. And also to try to understand their culture, So I started doing that. I find that help. But also you have to balance that relationship with being firm. Whatever you say, you have to stick to it. So even though you have a good relationship, if you say to them you're going to put them on detention, you have to follow through with that. Otherwise they lose the respect for you as well.
Wow.
Right. So I have shared my journey with you, coming from a traumatic time where I've learned my lesson from that trauma and translate that into something positive and being able to manage my classroom now. I've transitioned from that to the point where I am a sought after teacher because my behavior management system is brilliant, because I've learned how to build relationship, being firm, and so on. In the classroom, you have to know your subject matter. You also have to make sure that you have that relationship. So those are some of the advice and those are the secret to making it happen. Because I could not believe that I could move from a point like that where parents were complaining about me in the first year. Kids were disrespectful to me. Now parents love me, having that relationship. And so I share my heart with them, how I want them to progress, how I really have that sincere interest in them. And once you say that and you live that out, they pick up on that. And once they know you have their best interest at heart, once you have that relationship with them, once you're firm and follow through with what you say, and once you go, one of the key things is that you need to be on the playground, not just in the teaching of the classroom. You You have to be on the playground, interacting with them, and they like when their teachers are participating in the things that they are doing as well. That helps the relationship. So those are some of the secrets. And also to study the culture, because I had issues with understanding when they use a particular term. When we talk about pants, you know about trousers. That's what we are understanding. But when they use pants, they're speaking of underwear. So you have that's there. You have to understand how they think, and that will help you to build a relationship. So those are some of the secrets and the nuggets I would leave you with, so that you can make progress.
Wow, this is a wonderful experience from my brother Cleveland Perkins. Thanks again for joining Real Talk with Natoya. I want you to go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends, comment, and tell us your story about your time teaching abroad or even working in any other career field. See you next time. This is Real Talk.